In the age of streaming services such as Netflix, Amazon and Disney+, network and cable TV are being left in the dust in terms of their programming. This is due to a multitude of factors, the biggest of two being the creative freedom afforded by the lack of reliance on advertisements and the finance available for projects. This is particularly evident in British TV, as the traditional broadcasters such as BBC, ITV and Channel 4 are now being outpaced consistently by the likes of services previously mentioned. American TV is faring a bit better, with channels such as Showtime and HBO still capable of producing great TV shows such as Succession and Chernobyl, but nonetheless British TV is still falling behind. But there is one saving grace. Sort of. British TV has always been capable of producing the occasional piece of great drama, whether it be This Is Going to Hurt, Fleabag, or Jed Mercurio's recent works in Line of Duty and Bodyguard. These shows are fantastic and have some seriously good writing. Line of Duty has been running for almost a decade, and up until the recent series was consistent in terms of quality, with the season 6 ending feeling a bit underwhelming. And I think this was due to the show becoming a bit too ambitious. They knew their budgetary limits and as a result tried to make the writing feel a bit more Hollywood, and it just didn't work. You may be wondering why I haven't mentioned the show this video is actually about yet, and that is because Criminal, it perfectly balances its budget with its creativity. Its simplicity is its strength, and it gets real bang for its buck. And here's how. Criminal UK is a police drama set in London that focuses entirely on an elite interrogation unit made up of DCI Hobbs, DI Myerscough, DC Duffy, DC Warren, DC Pettit, DI Ottager and DS Reese, who are charged with interrogating suspects of serious crimes such as murder and human trafficking, and more. Each episode takes place entirely within the interrogation floor of their headquarters, and the audience never leaves the floor of this building. This is perfect for the premise of the show, as the plot, tension, drama, relationships and themes of the show all unfold within the interrogations, the observation room discussions about the suspects, and in the small quiet moments of natural characterization we get in between. We don't need to see their home lives or them getting evidence, because we get a sense of who they are via their interactions with the others and through their reactions to and opinions of the interrogations. We get to see all the characters be good at their jobs, albeit not perfect, and we see them support each other, which gives us, the audience, everything we need to know about them so we can focus on the meat of the episodes, the suspects. Speaking of which, the actors who play the detectives are recognisable faces within British TV, but none of them are particularly famous, which also enables the show to spend more money on getting great guest stars to play the suspects, with the likes of David Tennant, Hayley Atwell, Kit Harington, Sharon Horgan, Kunal Nayyar and Sophie Okonedo getting to shine and steal the show as their characters. What makes their casting even greater is that they all play characters that contradict their typecasting, or their more famous roles. For example, Kit Harington is known for playing the honourable and respectable Jon Snow, and in this he plays an arrogant and sleazy real estate agent, or Hayley Atwell, who as Peggy Carter was confident, refined and headstrong, yet in this she plays a nervous, working class woman who is desperately trying to protect her sister. Even when they don't play against their type, they still put in great performances, with Sophie Okonedo playing a seemingly depressed but perfectly normal woman who ends up having a dark side, or David Tennant playing an ill-tempered upper-class doctor who tries to play the common sense and decency card. Kunal Nayyar also plays a searingly arrogant and creepy killer who is completely the opposite of his Big Bang character. All of this makes the show feel more creative and ambitious than anything the BBC or ITV are doing, because this isn't trying to play catch up to American TV or streaming TV. That isn't a part of this show's DNA. It doesn't have to compete with anyone because it has the money and the freedom that Netflix can give its creatives. And I know Netflix aren't perfect and are struggling right now, and to be honest, it could do with trimming its content output, and ultimately cancelled this show, but it still created it and let it breathe. The setting also allows for the characters and the story to naturally withhold information or key pieces of exposition, that recontextualise the directions the interviews go in, as the detectives very rarely go all guns blazing until the suspect has made themselves such a large target that it would be impossible to miss. They let the suspects talk themselves into mistakes, and then grind them down until the truth is obvious, until the reality is clear. This form of storytelling is not the most complicated in the world, but it is very satisfying, as it doesn't come across as if it's trying to seem smart or edgy. It simply feeds the cat and mouse game the detectives play with the suspects. To see the team think creatively and try out ideas in the moment, it comes across as more genuine than some grandiose plan that knows every move in advance. They're not Sherlock, they're not mind readers. They are a team that help each other, that aren't afraid to take risks, and are fundamentally elite in their field, not because they are untouchable geniuses, but because they are open to ideas and collaboration. They don't have the inexplicable Hollywood intellect or plot armour so many other TV shows afford their characters. They are hard-working, driven professionals, nothing more, nothing less. They're human. Some of the reveals even feel reminiscent of Black Mirror or other anthology series, where the script gives you lines about a character which are then flipped entirely when one piece of context is added. This is particularly used well in the Sharon Horgan episode. The cinematography of the show is also great. It is filmed in a way that makes it feel intense, whether it be the mood lighting in the observation room, changing from blue to red to black, depending on the situation, and keeping the unnatural fluorescent lighting in the interrogation room consistent makes it feel like an unnatural place where the suspects are isolated and have no frame of reference beyond what they are told. And in the season 1 finale, they used the black and red lighting to amp up the pressure and tension expertly. The show also has great use of close-ups to emphasise the characters' reactions to situations, whether it be confusion, anger, grief. They are all shown, along with smaller mannerisms like fidgeting or drinking, which helps implicitly show where the characters' heads are at. It also gives some fun insight into the techniques the detectives use, whether it be how they hand in files of evidence during an interview, lying about their home lives to make themselves more imposing, or how to use repertoire to let a suspect back themselves into a corner. The lawyers also get moments to shine, such as when Kit Harington's lawyer heartbreakingly explains the reality of how they cannot prove anything he is accused of, or when Hugo is caught out by a seemingly random request from a lawyer, which ultimately has serious consequences. Overall, this show is excellent, and if you were looking for something to watch which is short, creative, but also flips a genre on its head, then watch Criminal UK. Thanks for watching.